Hey guys, so I'm back with a new video after I think maybe many months. I kind of lost count, and so the reason I'm making this video is because I really want to talk about this topic that has been concerning me, and I think that um, from people that I know, it's also a topic that concerns other INFJs as well as probably intuitives in general, especially NFs. So this video can be for INFJs, but it can also be for other NFs as well as anyone who doesn't feel like they know whether they are on the right career path or like which type of you know um, way of making a living is something that suits them. So for my situation, I have actually um, I did basically 7 months of full time work, um, and it was like a regular 9 to 5. It was from 10:30 ish all the way to 7, and you basically OT whenever you don't finish your stuff. So it really depends on your productivity. I think that's just the standard for any 9 to 5 jobs. And I realized that I just didn't feel like I was really a good fit for the job because I found it to be too routine. I don't know if it's a personal thing or if it's an INFJ thing. Like, I'm not really into very routine work where every day you do like similar stuff. Even though it was related to writing, which is something that I like to do. But I think it wasn't like the type of writing that I really was looking forward to doing. Um, I think it was more of a more manual, like repetitive type of work, and most of the time it was very there wasn't much movement, and I've just been thinking like, is it like just me not being cut out for 9 to 5? Because it's not just this writing job, but just generally 9 to 5 jobs, office jobs, they all require a kind of, you know, um, you basically sitting there and getting the work done. And there's a lot of rules and regulations depending on which company you work for. And it's not really this company in particular, but just office jobs in general, I feel. Um, you have like this you're stuck with this like group of people that you have to work with, and you don't really know what you get into. Like, you don't know if you would like click well with them. You don't know whether you would enjoy like working with them. It's all based on luck. So if you just happen to be in a group of people where you get along with really well, then you would probably have a very good time. But if you happen to not get along with certain people, um, then it's kind of like you're just not going to enjoy your job that much. And you cannot pick and choose who you work with. And once you are in this position, you have to continue for at least, I guess, many months, um, unless it gets like really unsuitable at one point. Um, but basically, I just feel like 9 to 5 jobs has a lot of stipulations, and you have to stick to a routine, and you have to meet the same people every day. I mean, unless there's some kind of different type of 9 to 5 where you get to travel and stuff. Um, but for me, because I was really of this idea that I had to work, um, because I have a responsibility to fulfill. Like, I want to be able to like earn money and have a stable income going. But I felt like I wasn't very, I didn't feel fulfilled, and I wasn't very happy with the direction that my life was going. And I took on the job because I needed money. Basically, I needed like full-time money. And even though I was a lot more passionate about like freelance, and I also did a little bit of freelance acting, which I'm also doing right now. But it just didn't seem very sustainable. So I felt like I had to take on the 9 to 5. But now that I'm thinking about it, I really wonder if maybe it's just my personality is not suited for 9 to 5, because I don't really know if I can um, fit into any 9 to 5. I don't know whether it's because of the company culture, or it's just generally speaking, I'm not really cut out for that way of life. So I just have a lot of questions right now. Like, I really need people to, leave suggestions if you have any. Like, if you are an INFJ, like, what kind of job do you think you work well with? Like, what kind of environment do you think you thrive in? Because I do think I want to be in a creative and dynamic environment where there are things that are different every day, and where I feel like my own ideas are respected. Like, it doesn't have to be the final word, but I still feel like I need to have these outlets where I can share my ideas and they're respected. Or, I can disagree and be respected for disagreeing, even if it is not the final word. And I also do want to have some time to myself. Like, I don't want to be in a career situation where my whole weekend is filled up. Because I think it's very important to have your own life. And I think partly the reason why I'm so concerned with you know whether I'm cut out for the 9 to 5 job, and what kind of job really suits me, or what kind of path really suits me, is because you know being someone who grew up in Asia, I had a lot of pressure when I was growing up. Like, I was always, you know, doing work. I was always not working, but I was, doing homework. I was just very consumed in school with all the, things that I don't really like to do. So I felt like, you know, if I had this whole period of time, like maybe more than a decade actually, doing things that I had to do, that I had to get past in order to get a degree, then, I should be rewarding myself after I get the degree. Like, I shouldn't be punishing myself further by going into jobs that I may not be the best fit for, and, just tormenting myself, and also probably not, you know, being the best team player, or just not feeling very fulfilled, and like I'm doing something meaningful for myself. Um, so I'm just wondering, like, especially with my past history of, I was a very hardworking student, um, but I felt like when I look back, I felt like I dedicated a lot of my time doing things that don't really add to my life. I was in a lot of time I was in the library, which is great, but I was in the library doing homework, and that didn't really add like meaning in my life. And I think that relating to the INFJ experience, like, when you grow up, your so-called inferior functions start to develop. So for me, my inferior function is extroverted sensing, and that really started kicking in full force in my college years. So I started going out a lot more. I started like postponing my essay writing to go out, because I wanted to experience life. I didn't want to just every day just stay in the library and do work. I wanted to like meet people. I wanted to like experience a different city. I wanted to really start leaving, and I really tried that. And obviously for college it's manageable because you still have a lot of time to really prepare for your tests. So I did quite well, even though I also went out a lot. um, so that balance was possible because I had very generous professors, and I think in all, like, my major was probably not too terrible in terms of giving people time to also have some social life. But I just feel like for me right now, like, when we all start working, I don't want to lose that because my throughout my childhood and my teenagehood, I didn't really get to live a life that I found to be meaningful. And obviously there are some meaningful moments in education as well that I enjoyed. Like, there are certain lessons that I really enjoyed and so on. But preparing for the test, like, and all those things, like, there are certain things that I had to do that I don't think really made a huge difference in my life. And I just don't want it to be a cycle. I don't want my entire work life to be the same. I don't want to feel like I have to keep doing mundane stuff or certain things that I don't really want to fully invest in just to get through the day. So I already feel like I have been doing that for more than a decade. So I really want to, moving forward, I want to find something that I can feel passionate about, that I can really invest myself in, and that I can meet interesting people, um, that I can continue to improve on, whatever that I'm passionate about. Um, and I think just having a healthy and enjoyable and interesting working experience, but I don't really have a very clear idea like which you know path that I should go into. I am exploring marketing because there's a lot of different types of marketing. There's fashion marketing, which I'm interested in. Um, there's also like social media, and so I just want to try different paths and see where that takes me. Maybe I would take some classes. Um, but I do know of a lot of people who have similar situations, and they feel kind of ashamed because, especially I think in Asia, where kind of earning a salary and having a stable life is the most important. A lot of people feel like they have to immediately find out what they are meant to do, and they have to stick to it. And it is almost like it seems very irresponsible to be figuring things out because you're not going to get stable income in the process of figuring things out. And so the point of my video is really to show that I am also going through this, and I know a lot of young people are going through this as well, and a lot of my friends are not very happy in their jobs either. Not all of them. I mean, some of them are like okay with it. They're just not like, they're not in love, but they're not like hating it. But I do want to know, for people who really enjoy their jobs, and people who really feel like they find meaning in their jobs, or just they just have a good time. And if you're an NF type, all the more you should share because I really want to know, what are the options that I can explore and potentially, um, get like maybe build a future with it. But yeah, this is really just a rant. Now that I have more free time, I'm going to do more MBTI and socionics videos. Um, I think I would be definitely exploring a lot of topics that I have previously wanted to, but not really had time to do. So I think it would be a lot to do with, you know, different types of. I think I want to touch on like how different types manipulate each other. I mean, not manipulate each other, but like their ways of manipulating people. And I think that would be a very interesting topic to talk about. So just let me know in the comments below, um, you know, about your job, like whether you like it, whether you don't like it, and give some suggestions if you have, a great experience in your field. Okay, thanks for watching. And don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye.